It's me, Nitra, and today we are discussing the most messiest book I have ever read in a long time. I shouldn't say ever read, but one of the most messiest books I have read so far, and that is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. And let me tell you, this book had me in a chokehold. This book had me wanting to smoke a cigarette, and I don't even smoke cigarettes. Like, this book had me cussing the main character clean out. This book had me yelling at 1 o'clock in the morning because it was so good that I just could not put it down. Like, say, girl, you was a hotmess.com. It was the hottest of messes. If you have not read this book, I'm going to stop you now because there is going to be some spoilers in this review. I'm sorry, there's no way I can possibly tell you about this book and why I gave it 5 stars without the spoilers. So, this book is about a girl named Faya, and she was in a really bad car accident about 5 years prior to when the story takes place with her husband. He ends up dying in a car crash. 5 years goes by, she still hasn't really dated. I mean, she has messed around with her. The only person she's really messed around with was her best friend, which was a girl. So one day they were at a party, she met a guy. Her and the guy started messing around. They ended up having sex in the bathroom. That's her first messy mistake, and that's after her not getting no D in a very long time. They messed around for a couple of months or whatever, weeks, and they go to another party, and his friend started to try to chop her up. Her friend name is Nas. Keep that in mind. So Nazir. So they're messing around or whatever. Not messing around. He's really trying to talk to her. She's like, no, I'm not trying to talk to you. Literally, I was just smashing your friend. Like, I can't talk to you. He was like, well, I'm not on some smash type stuff. I want some let's get to know you and see where it goes from there. Long story short, she's an artist and he has connects. So he uses connect to get her. They go fly back to his home country, somewhere in the Caribbean. And on the way there, she discovers who his daddy is. His daddy is this rich and famous, fine chef that's been all over TV that she's been googly eyes for. And all of a sudden, she started feeling the daddy. But she's like, I don't really want to know if I'm trying to feel the daddy because I don't know if the daddy's really feeling me. So a couple of days go by as they're living in his dad's house or visiting his dad's house. She starts to connect with the dad. Next thing you know, the dad is feeling her, she's feeling him, and then we're just like, poor Nas, right? Like, dang, girl, you really finna mess with the daddy. You really finna mess with the daddy? So her and the dad kind of have a more so bond because the dad is dealing with the death of his wife, and she's dealing with the death of her ex-husband. So they kind of basically bonded over death. Long story short, one of the housekeeper tenants caught the dad and her kissing, went and told the kids, like, oh, your dad got this fine young lady at his house that he making out with. And then the help describes Faye, and Nazir's like, that's my girl. Like, that's not my, like, mad, upset. So he comes back to the house and he confronts them or whatever. Long story short, she ended up messing with the daddy. She was sleeping with the daddy. Oh, nice. This book was so good, y'all. Like, I'm just giving y'all bits and pieces, but this book literally had me in the chokehold. This book literally had me gasping for air. This book literally had me like, girl, you was disrespectful. Like, at some point, I was like, girl, you're doing too much. I would have never messed with the daddy. But then as I sit here and I analyze and I think about the book, I'm like, would I have done what she did if I was in the same predicament? And the answer is yes. I would have done the same thing she did if I was in her predicament. It's a really good book, you guys. Make sure you grab it. It's on Amazon for $24.99 right now. There's 2 different versions. The more colorful version, this version that I'm showing you, is the version that I like and the one that I'm going to buy and purchase. I listened to it on Audible and I'm going to purchase it, the physical copy. That's why it's not here in front of me. That's why it's just sitting up here on the screen. But make sure you check it out. If you read it, let me know what you think about it. Let's discuss it in the comments because I want to know if y'all was in her shoes, would y'all have done the same thing she did? Or would you have not? Let me know.